Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, well, we're waking up to those chilly temperatures that have really settled in across portions of the Beehive state this morning. In fact, if you notice, we've got some spots of purple showing up on the map here. That's an indication, we've got some freeze warnings that are in effect for parts of the viewing area, especially as you get around the Nephi area, over towards portions of the Uintas, and then as you get down towards the West Desert there. And these will go until about 9 o'clock this morning. But, of course, the main story is to let you know, hey, we've got some cold temperatures in these spots. In fact, take a look at some of the numbers here. I've zoomed in to show you some of the numbers here along portions of the Wasatch Back where it's down to 30 degrees in Heber, also Timber Lakes, the Camas area. We've got 30 in Park City. We've got temperatures around 25 degrees this morning up at Alta. So it is quite cold out there, very wintry-like this morning. 27 degrees in the Schofield area. We've got 34 in Fillmore, 34 in Gunnison, 37 in Manti. We've got 36 in Ephraim, and temperatures around 39 degrees in the Huntington area. And a little farther to the south, notice some of these freezing temperatures. Bryan Head, as I mentioned a little earlier, picked up their first snow of the season. And look at those temperatures down into the upper 20s this morning in southern Utah. 28 degrees in Penguin, and over towards Bryce Canyon sitting at 25 degrees this morning. We've got temperatures here in the upper 30s and low 40s along the Wasatch Front. So even along the Wasatch Front, you may need a hoodie or a sweatshirt as you step out the door this morning. Temperatures are in the 40s over towards Castle Country, but there you see the 30s over towards the West Desert and St. George in the upper 50s this morning. All right, let's get you to the weather map. Not a lot to show you. High pressure. Yeah, the big blue H, that's our weather friend staying off to our north and east, giving us clear conditions across the rest of the western half of the country. So today, we're not worried about any rain chances by any means. In fact, your forecast along the Wasatch Front, I've got you in the low 60s for us today, well below average with sunshine. And again, those cool conditions expected out there. Southwest Utah, I've got us in the low 80s for temperatures, sunny and comfortable conditions expected. Again, should be just an absolutely beautiful day with this pleasant weather across the region. Now let's look at futurecasts. Let's see if we've got any changes in the near term. As you can see, that sunshine is in place not only for us as we go throughout our Monday afternoon, but I think it sticks around across the western half of the country going into your Tuesday. And for that much, how about Wednesday as well? We'll stick with that sunshine, but you start to see a few clouds ramping up to the south. Hey, I did want to let you know about tonight. Of course, tonight is the Harvest Super Full Moon. Are you excited? Yeah, it is time for that here. It's the closest full moon to the equinox. It's the first supermoon that we have this year. We're going to actually have 3 consecutive supermoons, but tonight's the first one. And, of course, that moonrise will be soon after sunset for the next several days, and we'll have that extra moonlight. They used to use this for harvesting before we had all this electricity, and so they would have the moonlight would help to light the fields longer and let people get those crops out, hence why it's called the harvest moon. Now, for us, we're not going to be watching any quiet conditions here for us for the next several days, so great viewing for those pictures for the harvest moon. But as we get towards the end of the week, we're going to watch a tropical system down to our south. It's going to link up with this upper low off to the west, and I think it's going to bring in some deeper moisture to the area, especially by the end of the week heading into the weekend, and that means increasing rain chances once again. St. George, low 80s, turning into the mid to upper 80s through the week, with isolated storms turning into widespread rain chances by your Friday. The Wasatch Front, we've got temperatures well below average the next few days, but pleasant conditions. We're near 80 by Thursday, and then here comes the rain again, just in time for the weekend. All right, let's get a check on your traffic out there this morning as we get you out the door. Again, we're keeping an eye on an incident here. This is I-215. Of course, we know this area here under quite a bit of construction right now, and that's causing some issues there. So anytime there's an accident or just a fender bender even, it creates a backup there. So keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling there on I-215. Again, you may run into some of those issues. Otherwise, I-15 northbound in Provo looking pretty good this morning with traffic moving smoothly and not a ton of congestion, at least as of yet. We'll keep you updated as we go throughout the morning.